Hello everyone and welcome to the MBS show reviews. This is James Corck and like always I have here with me Norman Sanzo. Hey Norman!
Hey James, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Here, well, for those of you who don't know, we are recording this episode review right after the one that we did on testing 1, 2, 3. So don't expect us to talk about much new things that happen or talk about how we are doing in our lives because we already did in the previous video, which means like we can just jump into the episode review right away. Today we are reviewing Treja, episode 22 of season 4, written by Scott Sonneborn. And now, literally, I have no idea where to start with this episode, because it's, for such a simple concept of an episode, it's ridiculously complicated. It follows 3 different storylines that go at the same time, in which you have Rarity with Applejack, Fluttershy with Rainbow Dash, and Twilight with Pinkie Pie. As they go to the trading exchange fair in Rainbow Falls, which is being hosted by Twilight Sparkle herself, because hey, she's a princess now. She's doing princessy stuff. Oh my god, it only took us 22 episodes for her to have some official princess business, so she can go get that crown on her head again and be pretty in the background.
Oh yeah. Be pretty in the background. But overall, it was an awesome episode. I got no idea what to say about this. This episode was fun. It was fun because you have 3 different storylines to follow, and the most prominent story is Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy's story, where they want to get the first edition of the Daring Do book.
Yeah, they want to get that into the Quest for the Sapphire Store first edition hardcover book that is owned by a pony in particular who wants to trade it for. She wants to trade it for a double-headed dog or something like that. How do you call that? I'm pretty sure they have a name.
Yeah, they have a name, but I got no idea. I'm bad. Maybe we need full papers on this.
Yeah, then the other storylines follow Applejack and Rarity, who they try to get. They want to get all of their stuff and exchange it for one thing in particular for the other.
And they have the bright idea of sharing.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to turn out so well. And the other is Twilight trying to sell and get rid of all of her old books.
Yeah, and Pinkie Pie.
And Pinkie Pie doing a terrible job at helping her friend out because, oh my god, Pinkie.
That's true.
What are you doing, Pinkie Pie?
It's not that bad. It's not a bad episode. It's just frustrating to see Pinkie Pie doing the things she does.
I'm not saying it's a bad episode. Hell, you didn't even ask me what I think of it.
Yeah, no, I'm just letting the people know. I'm just letting the people know from your tone.
No, it sounds like I am being overly negative right away, but no. Oh, here we go, James. He's hating on another episode. It doesn't matter if he's being super positive about all the other episodes this season. Man. Except with Leap of Faith. You hated one episode, you had all the episodes.
Yeah, but whatever. So anyway, where do we start with this one? I mean, it's all over the place. So should we start with the things we like and dislike, or the things we dislike first?
I think we should do that. Okay, I think I should clarify right away what I think of this episode, because people are going to think, oh my god, he hated it. I didn't. I didn't. I think this is one of the most kick-ass episodes of the entire season, because it feels like it feels like one of those IDW comics coming to life.
Yeah.
The amount of eye candy that this episode has hidden in the background. You can start watching this episode and pausing it every 5 seconds because there is one thing that's going on in the background. Like, this is random background event, the episode. All the way that I'm not just talking about the Luteces twins from BioShock Infinite showing up, carrying a bird cage, and looking exactly like they are the Luteces twins, guys. You're not fooling anyone, okay? This is not like when people were confusing one episode, one character for another. No, it's the Luteces twins from BioShock Infinite. Shut up. It's them. You can actually see Bonbon arguing with a crystal pony about sharing one of the exchanging one of them. The stand where Spike is trying to get his Power Ponies comic exchange for the other is full of other other different Power Ponies characters that we haven't seen in the Power Ponies episode.
Awesome.
And other villains, and one of them, the one that was more prominent, looked like a pony version of the Human Torch. So it's actually really cool. You can see at one point when they go inside the tent of the guy that owns the two-headed dog, you can see all the different creatures, and amongst them you can see the creature that was inside the scariest cave in Equestria.
Oh, really? Now?
It is there. It's there. Yes, it's there. You can see all the different shapes of all the different chickens in the chicken statue stand.
Yeah.
The big the Jeff Lebowski pony appears in the food stand while giving burritos. I think those either were burritos or burgers, one of them. But it was cool. You have that kid's OC, the one that got his OC put in the show, thanks to Make-A-Wish and Hasbro working together. Yeah, the pony with the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
It was an awesome detail and such an awesome story to read. If you want to know more about that, go check Equestria Daily's post on it, because it is chock full of feels and it will make you cry.
Yeah, we're just gonna mention it quickly because the kid had problems with his spine, something like that.
Yeah, he had a problem with his spine.
Yeah, and one of his wishes is to be in an episode of the show. And you know what? I think not counting Leap of Fate. This is probably the first disabled pony in the show.
Yeah, not counting all the other ponies that we have seen that were injured or hurt in Leap of Faith. This is the first time we see an outright wheelchair pony in the show, like disabled and everything. It was so cool. I was so happy to see that. I'm like, yes, yeah, that's awesome. When watching the episode, I was like, what is this pony? He looks like an OC. What a weird design. But I wasn't against it. I liked it. I liked the color combination. It was awesome.
Let's just say that it's not, how do I put this? Let's just say it's not Lord Humongous something with 7 wings, all black and with red hair. And
nah, it's like purple and black hair with brown coat. He actually looked really cool.
Yeah, it works. It works for the show, and you know what?
Like,
it works.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
it works. And according to the awesome people in my chat, like White Oak, and Arthur Crane, the two-headed dog is called an Orthros. It is an Orthros. It was Orthros. I cannot remember the name of it.
Oh, okay. Thank you, guys.
But yeah, it's like you can spend an entire episode talking about all the different details that appear in this one episode and never stop, because there are just so many. And that, you know what, that will be great if they were to compensate a story that was rather simplistic with no substance whatsoever, but it was a great character study. It was an awesome story about. It was an awesome way to see the different personalities of the main 6 contrast and clashing between each other. Something that we haven't seen this season all that much. I think the closest we have seen to personalities clashing between each other was whenever all of them could get together. And it will be like, for example, in Rarity Takes Manhattan, you will see Rarity's personality clashing with everyone else, or Rainbow Dash's personality clashing with Twilight's and all that. But it won't be for a very long time. This episode was the whole center of it.
And you know what? You mentioned something like that, and it got me to think. The last pairing that they did was in the 3rd episode, Castlemania. Because in that episode, we had Fluttershy with Rarity, Applejack with Rainbow Dash, and Pinkie Pie was alone, and Twilight was alone. We didn't have any pairings.
Yeah, you only had like 2 pairings, but that is great because it's the bread and butter of this TV show. It's all about the characters. It has nothing to do with the story. And this episode, more than any others, is a pure base character episode. You put characters in different situations, you wait for their personalities to start clashing, and it just goes. So it just happens. It feels so natural. It doesn't feel forced whatsoever. You can totally see Rarity and Applejack arguing over which one is the right pin, or oh my god, this old high tin, it's so old. Like, what the hell? Why do you want to buy this? It looks exactly like the one you have in your house. Well, that pin looks exactly like the one you have on your bag.
Right now.
And and it will get to a point that they argue saying, I'm not going to give you my stuff. Well, I'm not going to give you my stuff, which turns into, okay, I'm the better friend. I'm going to give you all my stuff. No. I'm going to give you all my stuff, which it's something that we have seen many times before in other cartoons, but because of how it's presented here, it feels nice. It feels fresh and new.
True. But overall, I mean, that's what we think about the whole thing. But I guess we talked about it that much.
It's hard. But you know how it goes. Everyone who has watched the episode, they know how it goes. You know how it goes. You know how it's going to end. It's good that they have all those details. It's a very simplistic episode that is. It's the kind of there are two kinds of episodes in this TV show. The ones that stand alone on their own really well, and the ones that stand alone thanks to the details. This episode is the second type. It stands on its own because of the details.
True. Yeah, but overall, I mean, in terms of, like you say, it's whatchamacall this, a background fest. It's a background
random background event. The episode, that's what I call this one.
Yeah.
But it's good background events.
Yeah. I'm noticing that we're not talking about Twilight and Pinky, and that is a bit hard to talk about because how do I put this? We've been in that position before where we know this one person don't really care as long as she gets rid of the books. Like in this case, Twilight, she doesn't really care what she trades. She just as long as she trades the book. And Pinkie Pie thinks that no, these books are valuable.
Yeah, because every other character, like Applejack wants to trade her stuff, Rarity wants to trade her stuff, Rainbow Dash, oh my God, she doesn't just want, she needs to trade her stuff. And Fluttershy is just there, she's just there for the ride because she's Fluttershy, come on.
Oh, she wanted to trade her bear whistle for a bird whistle.
Yeah, she wanted to trade her bear whistle for a bird one, but in the end, she just wanted to help her friend.
Yeah.
Because it's Fluttershy.
Indeed. Yeah, and the conflict for this episode was Rainbow Dash getting the trade that she wants, and technically being the first pony in Equestria to get all the first edition of the Daring Do books, but at the cost of losing her friend, or well, I wouldn't say lose, but it's more of she had to train the dog to.
It's more like Rainbow Dash willingly gives Fluttershy into slavery for a book.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be something like that actually really happened.
Oh my! When?
It wasn't a book. It was a Pokemon card.
Oh, okay.
A few years ago, a kid was he was trying to get his hands on a Charizard first edition Pokemon card that they were giving in a radio show, and he actually called the radio show saying, "Okay, can I give you my sister in exchange for the Pokemon card?"
Okay.
I am not joking. That did happen. So I am like, you know what? Yeah, cartoon, funny, all that, but that's
not a word.
Happens in real life.
Oh, boys.
Oh my God, that was funny. I was laughing my ass off with that part because I was like, oh my God, have I seen this happening before?
Well, but in the end, Rainbow Dash realized her mistake and had Twilight do her job.
And Twilight has to be like King Solomon and like, okay, you're going to split Fluttershy in half because I think this is a very fair trade. I found that really funny how she's just there on the throne with her crown and holding a mallet, like she's about to lay sentence or something. This is probably the closest we have seen to legislation in the world of Equestria. First time I see anyone with a mallet going fair trade or trade invalidated. That was very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but overall it was fun, and well, looks like Fluttershy has a new Orthros,
which was traded, of course, for the bird whistle that she wanted.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah, and then Twilight gave Rainbow Dash a paperback copy of Daring Do and the Quest for the Sapphire Statue.
Yeah.
Rarity got Applejack and Old Pie Teen. It wasn't the one that she wanted, but it was similar to it.
Mm-hmm.
And Applejack got Rarity a new brooch. Brooch.
Yeah.
For all the stuff that she was carrying. That wasn't the one that she wanted, but she was getting it anyway.
Yeah.
And the only one that didn't get anything was Pinkie Pie.
Because Pinkie
Pie she didn't want anything. She was just there for the ride and to troll everyone. Because she's Pinkie Pie. Yeah. Oh my God.
True.
This horse has birds in the head.
Yeah. But overall, in the end, it was an awesome episode. It was an awesome episode.
It was an awesome episode. It felt like a comic, like an IDW comic coming to life. It was chock full of details. It felt good to watch it. It is an amazingly well put together, gorgeous to look at episode. It's just great. When you think about it, the story in itself doesn't really make all of that much sense because the characters have been together for such a long time that you will expect them to have like a better understanding of how they are, of how each other are. But you have to remember that you are dealing with not stereotypes but archetypes of characters. This is a story that has to be written by them, and it works.
Oh yeah.
It works. At no point it feels forced. At no point it feels. I hate to use this term, but this is what the fandom likes to say. At no point it feels flanderized or exaggerated. The characters are in character, and they are good. They are not flat. They are not one-dimensional. Hell, they are not even two-dimensional. They are three-dimensional. They are fully flexed out characters. They are good.
True. I mean, and what you're saying about this being an IDW comic, this reminds me of the Big Mac arc where he wanted to get a box of nails.
Right. Yes, because it's pretty much the same. Very simplistic storyline combined with a very good set of characters with a bunch of things happening in the background. It is a great episode. Liked it very much. And yeah, my only complaint will be that the story doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it. But being a character piece, it's good. Very good tone, very good rhythm. I really like this episode.
True. So, let's go for the overall rating, I guess.
Well, I don't want to give this one an overall rating. I'm not going to give more overall ratings for the rest. You guys can come up with your own conclusion about how much about the score that I'm giving this episode. You go ahead if you want to do that, Norman, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to cater to what the people want me to do. I will do my own thing.
Okay, but overall for me, I like the episode. It's very entertaining. I don't know if I can give it a perfect score, but I would just give it a high 9. It's hard because I've watched it once or twice, but I really, how would I say, it's hard for me to remember without watching it again. But I did enjoy it.
Scott Sonneborn wrote Somebody to Watch Over Me, and he did a very good job at playing with the audience's expectations and writing for such difficult characters to write for, like Apple Bloom, the Cutie Crusaders overall, and Applejack and the Apple Family. So to have him take on all of the main 6 at the same time in such a big event with so many things happening, he did a great job. Like, oh my God, he did a great job. Like, I am looking forward to the next episode written by this guy because he did an amazing job. I'm looking forward to his next script. I hope he comes back in season 5.
Oh yeah, same here.
I don't think he's going to turn into my favorite writer. That one is still a powerful tie between Dave Polsky and Amy Keaton Rogers, but he is becoming one of those that you have to look out for. He's the new Corey Powell, the newcomer that comes strong and like, wow, didn't see that one coming, did ya?
So, anywho, James, what's next week's episode? Sorry, what's the next episode next week?
Oh, you poor bastard! You still think there's new episodes? Not until 2015, fuckers. Anyway, The next episode, speaking of Cody Powell, is Inspiration Manifestation, written by Megan McCarthy and Cody Powell.
Oh my.
It's episode 23 of season 4. You guys are in for a treat because it's a best horse episode, and I can we talk about that. Okay, so without further ado, that's a review of Tradeja. I've been James Corck.
And I am Norman Sanzo.
And we'll see you guys on the next episode review. Have a good one, everybody.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.